So pale mtaani Ongwaro, mi ni boy Ongwaro, nimegrow Ongwaro. Kuna mzee fulani, sitasema jina yake, juu ni mzee anajulikana. He was a taxi driver. So hata hii taxi haikuwa yake, ilikuwa ya, I think alikuwa amechorwa job or something. So this man, he's a very old man, respectable, with a family, nini. This is around the year 2018 or thereabout. Ameapproachiwa na a gang of thieves. Well, a gang, about 3 or 4 guys. So ase wakamwambia, kuna job tunadu, we want to tunaenda to rob bank. Wewe your job is to be our getaway driver.
Okay.
So akaambiwa details nini akasikia yenyewe deal na make sense. Jo akaangalia pale do anapewa, ile do inatoka ni this amount na ni do mingi na ni in cash bro. Hakuna kufuatana. Hapa tu ni ukitu drive to our next place, si tutajua vinyo tutaenda na tutaweonana tena. Nothing will connect us to one another. Msi akasikia hivyo akasema iko sawa. The day comes, kweli wamepanga, wameenda, wameingia bank. Few minutes later wasa wametoka na mabag za do. True to their word. Wameingia kwa gari. Si gari getaway nini, walikuwa na plan fiti nini, wakaenda wakafika place. Aya, si tumemaliza na haya, do yako ni gani, ndio ishika. Akapewa bag iko na do mingi. Hii ni story ya Ongwaro. Alafu sisi tumemaliza naye, sasa wakadisappear off the grid. Azinata sijui walienda country gani, they were professionals to that extent. Umzae makarao wakajaribu kuchase wakampata. So wakapata umzae wako zile za sasa tumekushika. Sasa utatupatia penye ase wako enyewe mzae naye ajui. Aya, hapa itakuwa aje? Hizi do utarudisha, manze mimi sina do, ameruka. You know you're looking at jail time. Akageta a good lawyer, akamwambia hapa usipokubali urudishe do ama unini, hapa jail time the best I can do for you is about 3 years. Msee akapiga hesabu akasema cash niko nayo na 3 years.
Ni important.
Wacha ninge jail, wacha ido
ni what?
Wacha nizike. Wacha nizike ido nifiche mahali. And then after 3 years nienda tu ni savio time. Alafu nitakaa msa nitafanya mambo yangu venye nataka, ni enjoy, si ndio? Manze gadhi akasawa, akakubali nini, akaenda kafungwa 3 years. Nimekusha this was 2018, si ndio? What major thing happened in 2019 in Kenya? Wacha nikuambie. 2018 jamaa amekaa his 3 years, he has served, ametoka. Do zile zake umejua. Do zile zake alikuwa amezizika, ameenda kuzichomoa. Gadhe makosa ni manze Kenya currency ilichangiwa.
I wonder.
We got rid of the 1000 notes za kitambo.
Mzee alichapa miaka zake 3. Mzee amerudi bana, anapata do. Manzi jo ido haisaidii. Na hiyo do unajua hawezi ati sasa peleka tioni ido nimepata mahali. Wanakujua ulifungwa, hawezi uzia. Hakuna hiyo do ya it is only good for kufunga mandazi, kufungiwa kushika nayo bro. Naacha ni kushow mzae. Sitaki kusema lichizi. Lakini wale wasa wanamjua. Cast anamjua vizuri sana. Na director Moza anamjua vizuri sana. Huyo wacha nisipeane more information wasa watamjua. But huo mzae hadi leo manzi hakuangi sawa. Kuna kitu lienda miss bana. You get. So wakuu kabla fikiria mambo yako bana. Wewe jifikiria nene ndilo nenda kuchapa. Director Moz, take it away.
My lord, I wonder.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, karibuni sana. It's been a while, tumekuwa away, tumenyamaza, but tumekuwa na some technical hitches ambazo technical issues zenye zimefanya yes. But we are glad you're here. Reminding you as always to point them to Jesus in everything you do. Kama kawa, also reminding you that tafadhali usijaribu kukosa kusubscribe. Unapigiwa hapa story, unapewa advice bila kusubscribe. Please subscribe and let us know. but sitaki kupiga story mingi. As we continue, wasome niuliza safari umekuwa wapi nini. I am here wena, I am back. I am sorry. Mimi nakwambia Clive, wasichana huku wamelia. That is a joke. That is a joke. Kuna wasichana wamelia. But I'm back my people. Welcome to I Am Rebel.
Ameona manzi yake hapa mbele.
Wewe bana, you're burning. Na wewe bana ukivaa duster akili pia inajaa uchafu tu.
Duster na
inapanguza
6-1. I am a very happy person. 6 goals.
Na siku nyingine usiwaiva hiyo kitu mbele yangu.
Wewe watu haters so manu. Wewe hata au ushinda tu na bahati.
My goodness.
Anyway, what we do, we have to live with them. Yeah. I hope hawata cancel hiyo part ya kusema tulishinda. Cause unajua editors, Safari, watu wana support.
Gaze.
Wana support team gani hiyo?
Wetu zime hiyo ndio. Basi wanazusha huko. Hapa lakini kabla mangumi zianze kutembea hapa, karibu sana Clive, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been forever. Akina kani kama tumekawia kushoot.
Manzi, lakini here we are back again.
Kwa hapa.
Karibu sana.
Something I noticed when you're talking about subscribing. Yani kuna mtu anakaa hapa, ana watch show yote from the beginning to the end, lakini hapo kwa kufinya subscription ndo amedraw the line.
Hapo ndo draw the line.
Hapo kwa kulike ndo amedraw the line. Lakini kuwatch yote.
Wafadhili, msikuwe hivyo.
And interestingly, by the time ina uploadiwa, 10 minutes later, yani amanga watu wa kwanza kuwatch.
Why?
But kusubscribe na kulike ndo amedraw the line.
Hapo ndo amedraw the line.
Sikuwa hivyo. Aki kusubscribe, hata ichukui 2 seconds. Hata tunaweza pause ndo usihate.
Bro.
1, 2. Tunamaliza hiyo
ndio hiyo. Click your button. Anyway, leo ninatupigia story man.
Imagine. Nilisikia kwa DM yangu, sauti ya Safari na sound kachura. Kasema acha tujaribu yangu. Mimi ukikuja kuniambia na sound kachura, mimi ndakutafuta kupige mawe. Mimi hatuta.
Boda.
Safari ni mpole, mimi si mpole kama yeye.
Mshesikia sauti ya nguruwe.
So story yangu nataka kuanzishia na part fulani ya Bible. Inasema go marry a promiscuous woman and have children with her. For like an adulterous wife, this land is guilty of unfaithfulness to the Lord. Imagine God aliambia mse hivyo. Go marry a promiscuous woman. So wacheni ni maybe promiscuous ndo inakaa fancy word ndo hai make sense. But imagine God anakushow and marry a prostitute.
Ebu tuiweke in modern day.
Enda hapo.
Ni nani wanaambiwa
usema koinange but sisi watu waende kupiga lapu huko lakini tusiende.
Sema nimetumwa na Mungu.
But God anakuambia enda umari mdem kutoka huko. Kuna msee upenda kuwaita ladies of the night. So let's take it back and to understand what this happened. So this story revolves around Israel. At this time Israel walikuwa wamekuwa na kings wengi, like over 20. I think it time ilikuwa the 22nd king or the 24th king. Na the more kings came, the more Israelite inakuwa mbaya. Like walikuwa sewa God from the beginning. Makumbuka wakalia, tuna worship aje Mungu hatumuoni. God akawa want tusikue na king, but at the end of the day give people what they want. Kawapea kings.
Si pia sisi tuliitisha zakayo. Tukapewa tu zakayo.
Na try kuheal unanirudisha nyuma. Kila siku akimefika place yako unaweza inunua leo, inunue leo. Juu unakosa kununua leo. Leo ni 12 bob. Kesho ukikuja akimefika 28 bob. Hadi unashanga, ilikuwa tu jana ukiniambia ni 13 bob.
Kenya jameni.
Anyway. So this time pia imefika hiyo place. Israel wako hiyo state ya they worship Baals. They are even, they feel hadi wamesahau kenye God amewafanyia. Kuwatoa hii land yote, kuprovide manna for them all this day. Walikuwa hiyo space. So you can imagine hadi God amefika hiyo place ya kuona, what will I do to help my people? And then he reaches out to, let's call him H. Then I'll tell you who this H man is.
Triple H. Just H man. Okay,
so this H man, God speaks to him. Mwambia, go to this place and marry this promiscuous woman, which for me mi hata naweza shanga kama huyu ni god ukweli na mari. For those who have seen prostitute, mi sijamuona.
Uongo.
Wasichana ni warembo. Nimesema sijaona. Ni safari alipigia history. Wasichana ni warembo. Because we are Christians, that's why we don't indulge. Because we are Christians.
Yeah. But you are
But this time, God ndo amenena. For me, I'm saying, if I was this H person, hata singetaka confirm ka God uko sure ama hapana.
Mungu ndo ameniambia.
Tuta confirm uko mbele. But anyway, I know God had a plan for doing this to this person. Kumwambia, go and marry this person. Let me give you a background. He goes, does the deeds. Not sure if the Bible, depending on the version you talk about, he did all that's supposed to do. Pay the dowry and all that, and bring the...
He gave her a respectable marriage.
Yes, everything. Then they get married. They start living. Because in God, the hitman knew who God was and mefuata instruction. He does everything he's supposed to do for this lady. But this lady, mi naboeka hapa, venye upenda kusema, Christian men are boring, hawana form.
Kwanza wacha kidogo tu, wacha nikulishe pause hapo for 1 minute. Wewe msichana ambaye unasema Christian men are boring. Endelea.
Na lecture machungu na ulikuwa umemove.
Acha nisiget personal. Acha.
So this chile complains and decided, hii ni Bambi, and a left group.
Lakini what is wrong with this gender?
And to make the matters worse, si ati anaenda anarudi kwa kazi yake. Kazi yake ilikuwa gani?
Ya kuuza nyama.
Kuuza nyama. This H-man, being the godly person he is, goes back and takes her again. This happened like twice. Kuna time hadi alihave kuenda. Sasa the worst thing ni hadi kuna place mdem ukajua alijipeana juu ya nini? Ilikuwa kitu ufala sana. Like he gave herself out for not, like ni vitu zenye hata angetaka hazi angempea. A piece of bread and a sip of wine. So if this H-man could afford marriage, could afford to pay the dowry and all that, bread na sip of wine ndo hangeza ku afford.
What?
But he went and did that. Au sema, when you wake up in the morning, as a Christian, you pray. After you finish praying, you take your 20 minutes and fear who?
Fear women. 20 minutes every day.
Every day. In the morning.
And
June.
Yeah.
Another instance, this H-man had to go buy her off again. Like unaenda kununua wife yako tena. Because watu wanadai hatutaki kumwachilia.
Hey bro.
Kumbe kwa soma historia hadi naona hii ni uongo.
What?
This can't happen. And all this time, this chile doesn't even feel like she has done any wrong. Hii marriage ni boring. Huyu Christian man ni Bambi. Hii sherehe ya sijui worshiping idols, kupati ovyo. Hiyo ndo form nataka.
Hiyo sasa ndio inabamba.
Hiyo ndio inabamba. But hapo mimi mali nilifeel vibaya. A piece of bread and a sip of wine.
Hey manze, you guy.
And yet home you can afford everything.
Hey you guy, what?
And kuna time hadi alienda, bado Hazi used to write the lady letters. Ya kumwambia venye anampenda, venye come home. Ana lament about hizi makosa zote. Ngedhani mdem atakubali aseme, by the way, let me go back to my husband. But alichagua, that is the best life. To put it into context, ndo watu wasianze kusema hizi ni stories za jaba. Ndo alisema raso hilo akipatana. Advantage tu ni hapa hakuna moshi. Editors msiweke moshi hapa. So this story, the H-man is Hosea.
Hosea, the
Yes.
prophet Hosea.
The prophet, with
the
all the
man
great
of
things
God.
that he did.
Guy.
This is what he had to go through with the wife. The wife's name was, we've been told, the wife's name was Goma, a daughter of someone called Diblaim. Nashanga, anasound tu kama mluya fulani. But imagine after all this, Hosea never lost hope, never gave up on this woman. He still went back. Even the last time, he had to go and get her by force. Kuna hadi instance yenye alienda akapata in the act. Nisipenda kusema to doom. Like imagine finding your wife to doom. Imagine. He went and found her doing that. He still had to get her home and he went back to her. After all this, finally, I think she came back to her senses, the Chile.
Hey, manze, she better. Hey.
She realized her mistakes and regretted her choices. She felt his pain and her own. She remembered his love and her vows. She cried out to him and asked for his mercy. Hosea still loved her and he didn't reject her. He clothed her and adorned her. He covered her shame and her guilt. He confronted her and lifted her up. He accepted her and renewed her. I mean, imagine, as we are reading about Hosea, things that had already happened. Think of it in that day, who Hosea was. So, when Nyambura come kuongelesha watu wasema, weende uchunge familia yako kwanza. Kama bibi yako umelemewa na yeye.
Mi nina imagine, pastor, wacha tusimention names. But ikiwa sahi, hata pastor tu, kuambia tu watu watuwe sadak ni issue. Na sisitetei wale wase wenye wanatutoa, wana nini. Si watetei, but pastors are judged for
the smallest
things. Sasa na imagine pasi atoke or a great bishop akam ambie wase ni aje nimetumwa na God, mimi niende ni marry a prostitute, a lady of the night. Gathe, what? And these are the things this guy had to go through at that point.
You see, it's okay marrying, but remember the things that happened to Hosea. The lady still went back, went and slept with other people. He himself even caught her in the act.
This is your wife, man.
When reading, my reason for sharing this story is saying, we can sit here, or the people listening and us talking, and we judge, Gomar alifanya mbaya, how can we do that? But you know, that's how we are with God. We know the right thing. We know the best things God wants for our lives. But what do we choose? We choose the worldly part.
We choose the worldly part.
Because tunafeel, huku ndo kuna bamba. Hii God anasema ati sijui kuna promises, he has a good plan for my life. Babeste zangu ndo wako na form ya maana.
Manze.
Let me go there. And many a times, after we've done all this, this I'm speaking from meeting with older people.
Yeah.
More often than not, they say, I wish I didn't waste my life. Because they realized later. You see, even when this lady came back to her senses,
she came
this
back to her
was
senses,
way later after that. Which the same happens with us Christians. So I feel, I still have time. I'm same young. I'm a teenager, I'm a young adult. Let me enjoy life right now, and then tutasort huku mbele. But the older people who meet them, they say, I wish I didn't go down this road.
Yeah.
I remember we visited a rehab center. These people, all of them, what they were saying, I wish I never took that first sip of alcohol.
Yeah.
Like, if I knew this is where I would end up.
And I wish I never took that first sip.
Because it was always about trying to get back to that high. The first time you took the alcohol, how you got. And before that, people have lost their family, their work. They're in a terrible state.
Yeah.
So, for us, why we chose to share this, or why I chose to share this story, it was an eye-opener. Today, let's not wait for things to happen, things to fall, to be in a place of no return.
Of no return.
For you to decide, no, let me do better.
Mm.
It's today is the day for you to choose. I want to be better.
Mm.
I want to do this.
Mm.
Because just as Hosea was good to her wife, to his wife, that's how God is to us.
Exactly.
But for us, we always fail him. We always want to go astray. Because even at the end of this story, please go and read the book of Hosea. Hii hata hakuna kustruggle. Anzia tu chapter 1 ukienda. Your story ni interest. You are my people. I want to be with you. I want to be your God. Yes, later Israel came back. But you see, I feel like for us, we are reading it. Maybe Israelites didn't know better. But you see, for us, we know better.
Now we know better.
Yes, because this time, even the Messiah who was promised had not yet arrived.
Yeah.
They thought kina Hosea, kina Elijah were the promised Messiah, but they had not. But for us, we know the truth. We know this is the way we need to go.
Yeah.
But yet we choose the wrong way. Because why would I want to sell myself for a piece of bread and a sip of wine that I can get in my husband's place?
Hey, man. Yeah. And, you know, listening to that story, I see myself, the righteous me sees myself in Hosea. In the if I told you the number of times nimepokea ma phone calls, because I work with young people, niko sell bana, nimeshikwa kuja unitoe. The number of times, unajua mzazi amenipigia kaniambia huyu mtoto sasa nimekuachia sasa, mimi nimeachana na yeye, and you're the one who has to keep loving them and loving them back to their senses. But then I also see myself in Goma. As in, nikiangalia relationship yangu na God, I see myself messing up every single time. Every time God ananiambia, this is not what I want you to do. And I'm like, lakini God, Aki, it is so nice. Ukukuna bo, and God is like, anything I'll ever tell you is for your own good. Listen to me. And since God is a loving Father and He doesn't love us by force, anakuacha, and you go and you mess up and you come back and you're like, wa enyewe, you are right, God, you are right. And consequences itakufuata, by the way. If I sleep and get a chick pregnant, I will raise that kid for the next 25 years of my life. Gone. Okay, by then I'll be co-independent. You know, those are consequences. But God was there. He was always there when he forgave me, as in He always hugged me when I made a mistake. When you said Goma came back to her senses, nikakumbuka pia the prodigal child. When Jesus is telling that story, He says, this ninja finally came back to his senses. As in my dad's house there is plenty.
Why am I eating
money? Even my servant, even the servants who they have more than they need. Manze, me I'll go back. And I think for your prodigal son, let me say something very controversial. He didn't come back. He didn't come to his senses. It wasn't from a place of remorse, of nimemes, of whatever. It was from a desperate situation. And apparently, it doesn't matter to God the reason you come to Him. God is normally like, you are here. Ujinga no yako nimekuleta, whether ni umechapwa ndo ukakam, whether ni kitu kizuri imekuleta, near death, whatever. You are here now. Let's work with you here. And nothing else you've done matters. Prodigal son alikuwa anakama anasema, hadi he had practiced. I will go and tell my dad, sijui, I have sinned against heaven, I have sinned against you. And the dad was like, shh, you're here now. My son is here. And you're a child of the house. And maybe someone who's watching this episode, akozele is that you guys do not know kenye nimetoka kufanya.
Imagine with God, it's just about taking that step.
It's about taking that
saying,
step towards
this is what I want. I want you.
How
because imagine Hosea had the chance to tell her, you've done ABCD, these mistakes, you left, you went sold yourself, but he never even concentrated on that. And if Hosea being a man,
yeah, man, how much more
God.
This imeenda even deeper than I thought. Na ladies, bu tupatie ladies warning. Usifikiria ya kwamba mimi nitaenda nifanye mambo yote. No. This is Hosea, and this is a story of man.
Yes. Don't go down that route.
And unfortunately, not every man is a man of God. Guy, we even the ones who are men of God today ninasikianga stories za wengine ni nati ngori yeah.
Today
But
I've learned something that it's better to learn from other people's mistake, because what's the essence of repeating the same mistakes you did? If you did this and it didn't work, I really don't have to do that for me to get there. Yeah,
exactly.
So for me, let's live our lives for God. Let's focus on the goal. Let's live according to his will, and things will fall out into place, rather than stepping out and bado tutarudi hapo. Like tuache waste your time
manze. Anyway, sawa naona time yetu imesonga for this episode. Man,
kama kawaida, tell your friends wakuja wasikize,
please.
But most importantly, read or share and come and add whatever detail you feel we left out or you felt that it stood out for you. Like we said, we always say it how we interpreted it. Doesn't necessarily have to be that way for you. It's about how I read it and how it made sense to me.
Yes. Definitely. Sawa. So thank you, people. It has been a good one. It has been real. It has been fun. What did we miss? What did we say? Wewe tupeleke na rada. But keep it here. Until next time. Peace.
Bye.
Clive anakonga na udem. Bye.
How many minutes? God!